Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're doing another video on the Last GameBoard, and we're showing off another game on the board here. And the next game we're going to be showing off here is Downforce, as you guys can see here. And Downforce is a fantastic racing slash betting game and auction game, as you're about to see. If you guys have not heard of this, this is made by Restoration Games. They restored this from an earlier version that was around, early in the early days, and they restored it and made a brand new version of it. And this is based on the Restoration Games version. And in my opinion, and you guys will see it here, I think it's done super, super well. Graphics look fantastic and all the noises and stuff like that. But the game does play up to 6 players, and it does require a companion app. The companion app I have is an iPad here, which I'll be using here today just because I'm using my phone, so I don't have a phone to actually use. Obviously, most people would be using a phone, not a gigantic iPad for these things, but we are signed into the companion app, and you guys will see how that works throughout the gameplay. And it also does have AI play as well, so you can play with the AI, which is what we're going to do here since it's just me here playing this game right now. But you can do a mixture of 3 real people and 3 AI players and stuff like that. And there is no online playing currently, but obviously this is a beta. Things may change in the future, but right now it is either single player with AI or obviously 6 players locally playing on the board. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with Downforce. It is starting up here on the game board, as you can see here. Nice little intro, nice graphics. You can hear the racing going on right now. You can see my companion app here has changed over. This is what the companion app now looks like. It kind of takes over this screen here, so it has like a nice little image of the game on the companion app, which I really like. And then this is the main screen. So obviously we only have one player signed in, which is me right here. This is my player... This is my player drawer, as it's called on the game board, and I'm all signed in and ready to go with that companion app there. And then you can add AI, as you can see here. If I'm ready to race, I can go ahead and just go like this and just slide across. It makes that nice little racing sound, which I really like. Even though you only need 3 players, we're just going to add a full suite of all AI into the game just so you guys can see how all 6 players work. So it's going to be me as the red player, and everybody else is going to be AI, as you guys can see here. And we're just going to go ahead and hit the green check mark here. Remember, you could play with other players around the board. It's just me playing today, but of course the whole idea about the game board is that you can play with other people as well. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just showcasing it to you guys. But obviously up to 6 people can be playing that are real people around the table, which is what I like about the game board. So it says to pick a track here. It does have the river station on the Marina Bay, so it does have both options that Downforce comes with. We're just going to do river station, and we're going to hit play there. So you can see here the game is starting, and you can see the nice board, the nice presentation of the game. I think they did a fantastic job implementing this game. I love the way that the game board looks and all the stuff and the graphics and stuff, as you guys will see, and the sounds of the racing and everything. And then the companion app has taken over, and that's why you need the companion app, because you have your cards that everyone else can't see. So you can see here, the beginning of the game is you're basically trying to bid on which car you're going to actually take control of, whatever color you're going to take control of, because you're obviously playing a race and you're trying to basically place bets on which car is actually going to win at different parts of the race, and you're right now betting on which one you actually want to control. So you do that by looking at your hand of cards and making a best guess on which ones you want. So you can see I have, a wild 5 that could be a green if I want it to be, another 5 green, 2 green over here with 2 wilds over here, another wild that could be anything, and a 4 and a 1 green over here. So in my best interest, it's probably best if I go after the green. So the green is the first one on auction actually, and you would bet a card by swiping it up depending on what you want to play. But if you play a 5, that means you're losing 5 million at the end, or I don't know if it's 5,000 or 5 million. I forget how the game calculates it at the end, but either way, 5, you're losing at the end of the game. If you bet a 2, then you lose 2. However, the problem is that whoever bids the highest is going to win it. So you need to be careful, because if I just bid a 2 and someone else bids a 3 on green, then they're going to take it from you, and now you don't control green, and that's technically the best hand that I have going. So for this game, I'm going to go ahead and bid the 5. So I just swipe the card up, and you can see I ended up losing it. I ended up not getting the green, so I went cheap, like I just said. I didn't want to bet the 6, and now the AI over here ended up getting the green. You can see they have a little green figure right there. So that is not a good start for us, so we're going to have to reevaluate our hands. So we do have the wild. We have a red there, And we have another wild that could be red there, and another wild that could be red there, and then there. And then we have orange over here. So we got that orange, that orange, that orange. So actually, I think we're going to go after the orange. So for this blue one, we're going to end up just betting nothing because we just don't really care about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and bet this 5 red, which is going to do nothing for the blue. So someone else is going to take the blue. That computer took blue. Now we have black. I don't care anything about black either, so I'm going to go ahead and again play this red over here by just swiping up. Don't care about the black, don't want it. There's the red, so we don't want red either, so I can't just swipe the red out because that's going to make us grab it. So I'm just going to bet this green. Green's not going to take it. So everyone gets to select. When you play a full suite of players, everyone gets one color to control. Sometimes you have 2 colors to control depending on the number of players, but with a full suite of 6, you know, that's not going to happen. Now, what's cool about this is now I know which players already have one. So every AI player has a color right now, except for us 2 right here. So it's my decision on how much I want to bet. Do you think that that player also wants orange and he's going to bet a 6? Or do you think I should bet a 5 again? So otherwise, I might get screwed. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and bet the 6 because I don't want to get screwed. And I want to make sure I bet the highest because 6 is the highest in the game. So I did bet the 6. And he still took it from me. So I still ended up getting screwed here at the end because he still bid the same as 6, and I guess he got priority over me. I guarantee you we both bid 6 on the orange. So man, this game's showing off. Didn't go work out for me with that bidding. So now I'm kind of stuck with yellow. So now I'm gonna have to maneuver my hands here. So you can see my hands here. I guess this makes for a good game to show off. But you can see when you select your car, everyone gets a card of their color and it gets to move up 8 one time. I have a yellow there, and then I have 2 wilds that could be a yellow and then another yellow. So it's not terrible. I could still do my thing, but it's definitely not the color I wanted. So let's go ahead and see whose turn it is. So it is my turn. You can tell because this player has like their person is kind of standing upwards. And it's kind of flashing bigger than the rest of them, if you guys can notice that on the board. So that's how you know it's your turn. And then I'm going to go ahead and select a color. So I'm going to start off really simple here. I'm going to go ahead and select this wild 5. Kind of swipe it up on the companion app, as you can see there. It plays it right there, as you can see. And then it basically tells you to go ahead and take your turn. So you can see I did a 5 wild and then an orange. So I can select any car I want. That's why they're all flashing, because that's what a wild is. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and select my yellow, because that would be the one that I want. I'm going to go around the bend here. Because remember, I'm in control of yellow, so I would want yellow to win. Now, I have 2 orange, so you get to move somebody who's orange. So you control all the cars that you're moving, unless if you have a special ability that says otherwise. You can actually, I forgot to mention that everyone does have a special ability that does something in the game that kind of breaks the regular rules. For example here, if I hold mine down here, you can see my special ability, if you hold down the player card, is determined. So it says, on any player's turn, if your car moved into only rectangular spaces, you may move it to additional spaces. So that's something I should keep in mind to move my car even further. So now you can see that the orange person actually moved past the first yellow line. So we already have to place our first bets on who's actually going to win this race. And right now, on the companion app, you basically have all the different players on it, and you can actually select whichever color you think is going to win. So I'm going to go ahead and still select mine, even though it's a little bit further off because I'm kind of in the back. But I'm not going to go ahead and take the easy choice of selecting orange because he used his 8 to get in front. So I still think I could do some catch up. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that. So that's your first bet, and you can see the bets there, how much money you win, depending on which one you bet on. And it is, again, my turn on which one I'm going to move next here. My special ability that I talked about before says that I can only move into rectangular spaces only. So on my turn for me to move 2 additional spaces. So these are not rectangular, so I'm not going to be able to do that this turn because of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and select another card here. I'm going to go ahead and select my 5 wild that's sitting up there. And just select that one, and I'm going to go ahead and use it again on yellow and just move all the way up the stream here. Again, you can hear those sound effects. I love the sound effects of the game and the racing and stuff like that. You can see this person is using wild to move up, and then he also has 2 yellow for me. Unfortunately, I don't get to move 2 more because I didn't move in just rectangular spaces on that turn either, but hopefully that comes into effect later on. But this game is really cool because obviously you can block people in depending on where you move and stuff, and you can kind of mess with people, blocking them in and going around tight corners and stuff, especially as there's 6 players on the board doing their own thing. I know one of the other player abilities that are out there, I forget what color it's for, is that you could actually move your color no matter whose turn it is. So you can see that I usually move every player's color that's on my card when it's my turn. And somebody has a special ability that they can actually move the cards for themselves. You can see his ability right there, unpredictable. Now it's back to my turn here, yellow. So let's see what we do here. I'm eventually going to have to play a card that, of course, doesn't have yellow on it because obviously I got no choice. But I want to stay away from playing this 6 orange as late as possible because he's already way in front. I don't need to give him any more. So I'm just going to go ahead and if I'm watching green and blue, right now would be a great time to play the green one over here and waste my giant 5 green because I don't want green to win. But he can't actually move 5 spaces because he doesn't have enough room. But I can kind of block him in and waste the rest of the move. So that's how you could screw someone else over and waste one of your cards that you don't want to use, so which is perfect. Because I didn't want that to move. Just like this red player just played 6 green, but green can't move because he's got nowhere to move. So that was a great card for him to play and not let green move anywhere. Now green can kind of, everyone's a little bit more separated, but there's my card moving 2 more for going into a rectangular space. That's what happens in the game. When you see your card pop up at the corner, or if it pops up for an AI, that means the ability is being used, like this one right here. That's letting that player move some. Like this is the one I was talking about, cunning. So he has it that you can actually move your player color on anyone else's turn, so you can control where to move it, so someone can't block you in and stuff. So everyone has those special powers, and I really like how it pops up the card on everyone's turn, so hey, it's your turn to actually do something here, and you know that your ability is being used. And here we go again. So we are now placing our second bet. So you can see our first bet, we were going to win 9 million, 6 or 3 for first, second, and third place. Now we're in the second bet because the second yellow line was crossed. I am again going to say that I'm going to win. Hopefully this doesn't screw me. But I'm going to pick yellow again. You don't have to do that. You can rotate on who you want to pick. But again, I will pick yellow there. I definitely have some catch-up to do, that's for sure. So you can see that unpredictability right there. When you play a wild card that I did before and like this person did, usually you can't use a color that's already on the card, but in his ability that he has, he can actually use another card that's already on there. I got to move an additional 2. So I'm going to go ahead and move it an additional 2 spaces there, which is great. So I got a free additional 2 spaces there for using that ability, which is awesome. And then it is my turn. So I am going to, let's see. I definitely need to catch up. So I'm actually going to use my big 8 that I have over here that I showed you guys in the companion app before and swipe that up. That's a one-time use card that everyone got, like I talked about. I'm going to use that 8 and get in front of everyone here and go around the bend. And then that also means that I could block everyone else in. So if anyone else tries to move, this is a good time to play them because no one else can go around me besides orange. So that's good. So red can only go so far, and blue can't go any more than what he's about to do. So this works out for me. I just got to keep in mind where orange is here. This is only a 1-lap game, so orange is really moving. So he crossed the third one. So again, this is our final bets. Now we're betting on bet 3. I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm not going to change my mind now. I'm going to stick with that yellow. Stick with that yellow here. I don't know how many of you guys have played this game before, but it's really, really fun. This guy did move my yellow, so that's great. I get to move 4. Helps me out. Orange gets to move a couple more. Damn, orange moves 6 on that turn. But I moved 5, so no complaints. This guy, let's see, I'm not moving at all on that card. At least orange is only moving 2. Green got screwed there because green couldn't move the 6 at all because they were blocked in, because you do have to move them in order of the card. So that sucks for him. Alright, so we're back to our turn here. I got a 5 orange I got to play eventually too, which sucks. Like, my hand has 6 for orange and 5 for orange, and they're way in front, so this is not looking good for what I want to do. But anyway, I'm going to play this 5 wild. And of course, I'm going to select myself to move. And then green has to move too, so I'm going to go ahead and move green too. Now it's to the next player's turn here. I do like how fast the AI plays too. It seems like it's at a good pace. Lets the game flow. So playing with the AI in here is really fun. I get to move. I just touch my card there. You do have to pay attention though, because you guys just saw my card popped up, and my card has, I have the option of moving 2 spaces, and I was supposed to click on the card to actually move it, and since I didn't hit it fast enough, it kind of disappeared on me. So that was my fault for not paying attention. But on someone else's turn, my ability specifically says I have the option, so you need to make sure that you're paying attention there. Almost at the finish line here. So the game says 40 minutes, but you could definitely finish this game in like 20 or 30 if you know what you're doing. I mean, we're about to play the whole thing, and especially with the AI, because the AI is obviously going to go faster than a regular person. Oh, look at Ron catching up with that yellow. Look at how tables have turned. That is wild, guys. I am 1 space away from taking this game into first, so this is exactly why this game is crazy. You never know what's going to happen at the end. And there it is, guys. My yellow actually crossed the finish line first. I didn't even need to play all my cards. I'm going to have to keep this orange 6 and 5 orange in my hand. And, of course, my companion app is gone with all the cards because all my racers have finished, so I don't need to play any more cards. Man, did I get super lucky. That orange really got screwed. I got to keep the 6 and 5 in my hand and got to keep that one out. So I should definitely solidify first place here because I chose yellow for first, second, and third place on all 3 rounds. But that was kind of wild on how that finished there. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind that I wasn't paying attention to, is that on my ability, like I said, it said optional, and I had to tap on the card, and then it would allow me to move those 2 spaces when it's someone else's turn. If you don't tap it, it gives you like 3 or 4 seconds. If you don't tap it, then the AI is just going to continue, because obviously it's got to continue if you're not clicking your card. So something to keep in mind with the abilities, that sometimes you need to do that depending on what those abilities are. But that was a wild turn of events there at the end where I moved up a lot. You thought the orange was up in the lead the whole entire time, and then orange ends up getting maybe third. Unless if one of these people are going to play those blue and black. I don't know if they have enough to get there before orange, because orange has only 2 spaces left. Yeah, this one. Oh, black got it. There's third. I was going to say, unless if he has a big card to play, and there it is, third place. Orange didn't even place in this game. Like, in the top 3. There you go. He got 4th. Like, he was in first the whole entire time. That's freaking wild how this game finished. But we did get first place, and we didn't even choose a color that we technically wanted, but we still made it work. It still worked out for us here in the end. You can see first place first place yellow just for us with $29 million. And I really like that it has the cards right here in front of everybody, and it checks off exactly, not only are the cards in front of you, but it checks off why you won. So you can see right here on mine, on the first bet, again, I bet on yellow. That's why there's 3 check marks there. I bet yellow on all 3 rounds, so I got the 9, the 6, and the 3 million for all 3 rounds betting on yellow. And then I also got racing payouts for my car winning first place. So because my car that I had won first place, I got 12 million for that. And then, so I got the 12 million for that, and then the betting total I got 18, and then the auction total I only bet $1. So that was even more wild, because remember I tried to bet on orange at the end, but I didn't get it. This guy did, so I ended up taking the last available racer, so I didn't actually have to bet a card. So I just took yellow for essentially 1 million instead of betting on a card, since it was the last one available and I was forced to take it. But worked out perfectly in the end, and we ended up winning with 29 million. Second place was only 14. So it doesn't work like that all the time. I've lost against the AI before, so let's get that straight. Like, that was an extremely lucky game to how actually worked out, because it doesn't work out like that all the time. But hopefully this gives you a great overview of how Downforce works on the table. It does have those 2 maps. Again, you can play with up to 6 players around the board. You can do a combination of 3 players on the game board and then 3 AI players and stuff like that. So this game is fantastic. I do hope that they add online play to this one eventually, because this game is great. Has worked great. I haven't really had any bugs with this one either, even though we're in beta here. It worked really flawlessly, as you guys saw there, with no issues. I love the sound effects, I love the graphics, and yeah, I think they killed it with implementing this on the game board. And what's really cool about this one is some games on the game board obviously exist on the iPad and on other digital platforms, and they port it over here, which I think is great because it takes advantage of playing in real person with 6 players around the board. But then there's some games that they're doing that have never been in digital form at all, which I think is even the more interesting part about Game Board, which I've talked about in the past. And this game is that exact example. Downforce doesn't exist in another digital form, so it was created by the Game Board team, and again, they did a fantastic job creating this. So guys, if you guys have any questions on this game, on how it works or anything, leave those questions down below. If not, thank you guys as always for watching. Till next time.